I'm a certified Pilates instructor, and I pulled together some moves that I found to be really useful when I'm having hip or lower back pain from sitting all day, especially working those 9 to 5s. It's hard to get up and move. 15% of lumbar spine pain is from prolonged seated, so I recommend trying to get up and move every 30 minutes if you can. But even if you are doing that and you're having back pain, here's some moves I recommend. I pulled together some stretches, some standing moves, some work on the front, and then a couple of movements on the back as well. I found them to be really useful. You can pick and choose what you'd like. I recommend doing 3 sets of 8 to 12 if possible, but let's get into it. So first we're going to come down into some cat-cows. We're going to stack our shoulders over our wrists and our hips over our knees. So we're going to draw the belly down, push into the hands, or open up that chest, and then we're going to draw it up, push into the hands, draw the belly in. And as we're going down into our cow position, make sure you're inhaling, and then exhale as you push back up. Inhale, and exhale, push into those hands. I love to do these just at the beginning of the day or the end of the day, especially when I've been sitting. It just helps with some movement. These are really good for digestion as well. Alrighty. Okay, next we're gonna thread the needle. I found this really nice to stretch out the shoulders. So we're gonna take our left hand, we're gonna shoot it up to the sky and roll our wrists one way and then roll them back the other way. You really want to stretch out those wrists after you've been typing away all day. And then we're just going to put our hand back towards our right side. We're going to shoot it under our arm, shoot our hips back. We don't want to put too much weight in that shoulder, but you should be feeling a stretch between your shoulder blades and then your lower back. Oh my gosh, that is so nice. And just take some deep breaths here to really help alleviate the tension. All right, and then come on up to all fours. We're gonna just do it on the right side. So shoot your right fingertips up towards the sky, open up that chest, roll out that wrist one way, especially if those wrists are cramping up. Then roll them the other way. Put your hand, shoot it towards the left side here, shoot the hips back. Really press into that arm, and make sure your eyes are looking towards your fingertips here so your head is positioned in the correct position. All right, and then we're going to come on up and shoot our hips back to child's pose. We'll take a couple of deep breaths here. Again, these are really great for digestion, really stretching out that lower back. My back is definitely a little strained right now. This will stretch out your ankles, your lower back, and your upper back. So reach forward, take some deep breaths here. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. I also just like to move my fingertips side to side. I feel like it really lengthens the side and stretches out here. It just alleviates a lot of tension after a long day. And then I just walk my fingertips on over to the left side. Take a couple of deep breaths. All right, now we're gonna come up into standing. These are a couple of standing moves that I found to be really useful. They're really good for helping with mobility and posture as well. It's really gonna help balance out your body here. So what I like to do is a couple of arm movements side to side. So shoot your fingertips straight out, put your feet about hip distance apart, draw in the belly, and then you're gonna move, make sure your shoulders are pressed down as well, and then you're gonna shoot your left arm out to the side and just follow your fingertips as you move it all the way back and stretch out that spine. And then bring it forward. You can do this as slowly or quickly as possible. So inhale to prepare, exhale to bring it back. I know this is really slow, but it's really gonna help stretch out that spine here. Inhale to prepare, exhale to bring it back. This is really helping my spine right now. I've been sitting all week, and I just did a weight workout, so this is really nice. We're just gonna do 4 more of these. So again, remember, just inhale to prepare at the top. Exhale, stretch it back. Make sure you're following your fingertips with your head so you're moving that full spine around. Also, if you have a band, you can hold a band and put some tension in it. This is if you want an extra little challenge. Do 1 more. All right. Now we can bring our arms down. We're gonna come into some dumb waiters to really help, again, pull those shoulder blades together and strengthen and create this full body stability. So we're gonna tuck our elbows to our sides here. We're gonna put our hands out almost like we're holding a tray. And then we're gonna move our hands towards the back of our body like this. Draw those shoulder blades in. Again, make sure that you're keeping that core engaged. Shoulder blades are relaxed. This is really gonna help to strengthen our shoulder blades. This is really good, especially when you're slouching over all day, typing away. Found that I have a lot of pain. This really helps me with my posture. Again, make sure you're keeping the core drawn in. And just you're inhaling and then exhaling as you bring the fingertips out. Just gonna do 4 more of these. Really make sure you're pulling those shoulder blades together so you're strengthening them. It's gonna really create more of a full body stability. I found that Pilates has really helped with my stability. I almost slipped the other day and I caught myself, and I swear it's because of my Pilates strength. Okay, so feel free to do either of those movements in 3 sets of 8 every day when you're just sitting and typing away. It'll really help again with that posture. All right, so now we're gonna come down onto the mat. We're gonna do some work on the front of our body. Again, we're gonna continue to strengthen that back a bit. So come down on your chest. And then you can put your hands next to your chest here. We're just gonna come up into a cobra position. So inhale to prepare, exhale, pull the glutes together, draw that core in. We're really gonna feel that stretch in that lower back. And then we can come on back down. So again, make sure you're drawing that belly in, pulling from the glutes. Your feet are hip width distance apart. So inhale to prepare, exhale, pull it all up. All right, now we're gonna prepare to do some swimmers. I really love these. I find they're so good for strengthening your lower back. And again, the stronger your lower back becomes, the less you'll have that hip pain, which is the best way to stabilize your entire body. So you're just gonna shoot your fingertips out in front of you, and then we're just gonna lift the front of our body first. So make sure to really engage that core, draw it in. We're just gonna pull up here and then bring it back down. We'll do this 8 times just to warm up the lower back a little bit. So you're really pulling those shoulder blades together. As you're doing this, you're pulling the glutes together as well to lift up. And you're gonna inhale to prepare, exhale as you go up. We're just going to do 3 more of these to get ready for swimming. All right, and then we're going to come on down. We're going to rotate We're gonna do opposite arm to leg in slow motion just to warm up for the swimmers. So we're gonna lift our right hand and our left leg. Again, make sure you're really drawing that belly in, keeping that spine in neutral. We don't wanna be, sticking our butt out too much or lying too far pressing into the mat. So you're gonna lift up your right hand and your left leg, and we're just gonna swap side to side here. We're gonna do it really slow. It's gonna feel really nice and stretching out the hip. And just keep breathing here. Breathing is really important in Pilates. It's also really good for recovery as well. All right, and we're just gonna do 2 more of these. Again, try to do 3 sets of 8 to 12. That way you'll get the best out of it. But now we're just gonna come up into some swimmers. So we're gonna swap from side to side. So lift our right arm and our left leg, and then we're just gonna rotate side to side. Breathe in and out as you're doing this for 8, 3, 2, 1. All right. Drop it all down to the mat. Take a deep breath. All right, and then before we get into our core workout, I just wanted to do a small little mermaid stretch here. This is a really nice stretch to lengthen out the side of the body. So what you're gonna do here is you're gonna sit on your left leg here. You're gonna take the sole of your right foot, place it on your left thigh. Make sure you're keeping those hips as straightforward as they can be, and you can sit back into your left sole of your foot a bit. And then you're gonna put your right hand down, and you're just gonna lift your left arm and stretch on over to the right side as much as you can. Really stretch out that oblique, lengthen the side here. This way we're stretching out the back, we're stretching out the side of the body, all of these things that hurt from sitting at our desk all day. You can just take some deep breaths there if you need to do it a little bit longer. But then we can swap to our other side here. As you can tell, that side is a lot more flexible for me than this side, but that's okay. So again, we're gonna put our left hand down, take our right hand, inhale to prepare, exhale, bring it over towards the side. Really stretch it out here. Make sure you're keeping that left foot on the left sole, on the right thigh. Really lengthening out that side here. So that's also a really nice stretch to do if you want to stretch out the side. All right, and then we're gonna come down onto our back here. So just a couple of ab workouts. You want to strengthen the back. That will help with hip and back pain. I used to always have a lot of hip pain, and it's gotten better since I've done some of these movements and since I've been strengthening my core a little bit more. So we can lie our feet flat down on the mat. Make sure to keep your spine in neutral here. You don't want to be overextending it like this, but try to keep it as flat and as engaged as possible. We're going to shoot our fingertips over our head. We're going to point our toes. We're going to inhale to prepare. Exhale, roll the body up. We're going to reach towards our toes here. We're going to bring our arms up, come straight sitting up with our sit bones on the mat, and then we're going to come down into a C curve and slowly roll down to the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae. I found this to be really relieving after a long day of sitting. I know it's really slow, but that vertebrae movement just adds in a little bit of mobility and breaks up that lactic acid that's built up from sitting all day. So lean on forward towards your toes. Come on up into seated on your sit bones. And then tuck into that C curve and lower on down to the mat here. We're just gonna do 2 more of these. So inhale to prepare. Exhale as you come up and shoot straight towards the toes here. Again, come up into seated and then come into a C curve and lower it back down to the mat. It's really nice and soothing after a long day. Just lean forward towards your toes. Again, sit straight up. Come into C curve and lower down vertebrae by vertebrae. It's your last one. Okay. All right, now we're gonna do some leg pulls here. This is really good, again, for engaging the core and strengthening it. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna put our legs up into tabletop. We're going to take our left hand outside our left ankle, and then we're gonna put our right hand on our left knee, and we're gonna lift up off of the mat as we do this, off of our shoulder blades, because we wanna be engaging the core and pressing the back into the mat. And we're just gonna shoot the right leg out, and we're gonna rotate side to side here. This feels really nice on the hips. And point the toes. Again, make sure you're lifting up off the mat to engage the abs. Don't pull on the neck. And just make sure you're breathing here. And breathe in, breathe out. So you can do 3 sets of 8 here. It really feels nice in the hips too, to do this. Okay. 1. All right, bring it all down to the mat here. Another move I like to do are some glute bridges. You can add weights on you if you want to get that extra strength. You can add a band around your legs, but feel free to put your feet hip width distance apart. Again, engaging that core, spine in neutral position, hands to the side of your mat. You're just going to inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift it up. Pull the glutes in as you're at the top. Squeeze them. Again, this is really good for hip strengthening and glute strengthening, which in turn will help you with that sitting all day. But again, I recommend getting up and moving as much as possible during the day if you can. I know how hard it can be though. Okay, we're just gonna do 3 more of these. Again, make sure you're really squeezing those glutes. One more. All right, bring it all down to the mat here. We're just gonna finish off with one final movement here, and that's the hundreds. I used to not really understand this move, but now that I do, I really like it. I think it's really great for breathing and strengthening the core. So put your legs up to tabletop here. Then you're just gonna pull your shoulder blades up off the mat, tuck that belly in, draw the abs together, and then we're just gonna inhale for 5 and exhale for 5 as we pulse. It's really great for strengthening the abs and just for helping with breathing. So breathe in for 5. Breathe out for 5. Do this 5 times. Breathe in for 5. Breathe out for 5. 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 One more. Breathe in for 5. Breathe out for 5. And just bring it all down to the mat here. Grab those shins. And you know what I really like to do is just massage out that back a bit. And just take a couple of deep breaths here. Nod your neck side to side. Alrighty. I have one bonus move for you guys if you do have a roller, because this move is absolutely fantastic after a long day of sitting. So if you want to grab your roller, you can. And then you want to just put it right behind your back here. And then you can come up sitting on to your roller on your lower back. You can put your left foot over your right thigh, and then you're just gonna lean on over into the left side here, so you're really getting that side hip and glute here. This is really good for releasing performance and releasing the performance and the glute medius. So yeah, you can really lean into that. It feels really nice. I highly recommend if you're having any tension issues with your glute or getting performance. And then you can just swap sides. I usually do this for like a minute or so, especially if you like running. This also helps, and just, yeah, sitting in general can always hurt. There's some good moves. Well, I hope that I could help you with any sort of hip or back pain from sitting all day, whether you use one of those moves or all of them. I highly recommend incorporating them into your day-to-day, especially if you're working a 9 to 5. Thank you guys for watching, and have a lovely rest of your day.